And I really had to like think about it. I was like, that's a good question. And it occurred to me that I don't remember dating in my 20s because I was drunk my entire 20s.
I really want a family. I've waited for my husband for so many years, and I'm just getting mad, and I'm about to turn 40. There's a lot of stress on me right now.
So number one, I want you to vet his intention early, not the potential. We cannot, at this stage in the game, again, if you are like me, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, we cannot be dating people based on potential. Potential came and went. Now, it doesn't mean that we all don't have the opportunity to grow and become greater versions of ourselves, but I'm not banking on it. I banked on it when I was 19 and in college because all we had was potential. Oodles and noodles and potential. Now, at this stage in the game, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, and we're still talking about potential? Absolutely not.
The male translation of I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm never going to make you my girlfriend or pursue a serious, long-term, sustainable relationship with you. I enjoy using you for my satisfaction and only coming in and out of your life when it's convenient for me. This situation makes me very, very happy because I don't have to put in any of the real effort required to be in a real relationship, but you still treat me like you would a boyfriend, and I still get your loyalty. That's so amazing. I am not ready right now, nor will I ever be, to put in more effort to get the same result, which is you treating it like a relationship. That's all I need, and that's all I want. I'm not ready to commit to you and actually have to be consistent with you, even when it's inconvenient for me. Like, don't be silly. I don't find you interesting or desirable enough to be in a serious relationship with you. Actually, majority of the reason I even spend time with you is because you have no boundaries, you have absolutely no standards, and no matter what I do, you will always forgive me. So it's a win-win for me all ways around. But at least when I say it like this, you feel like eventually at some point in the near future, things might change, even though they won't. But the point is you feel like they might, which will keep you around long enough for me to continue using you, which is great.
I think a lot of modern women are so short-sighted that they don't really understand that the person who they are, who they're proud of, is actually going to hold them back. And I know you like the spirit. You know, I fought through this and I've gone through that, and it made me who the person that I am today. And so they feel like in a lot of situations, in a lot of cases, well, you know, I had to fight through some stuff to build myself up to this person. And men will appreciate that about me. And so they'll say, oh yeah, she's a fighter, I love her. But that's not the way it goes, because that fight and that disrespect turns to him. There's nothing wrong with you challenging and trying to help him out, but a lot of times modern women are downright disrespectful.
Stop trying so hard to be chosen. I used to do that too. I used to think that if I loved him hard enough, if I stayed down, stayed quiet, like he would finally see me for me. But let me be honest with you. If you have to shrink yourself or beg for love, then that's not real love. If you gotta chase it, it was never yours. You don't have to prove that you're worthy. You already are, and you know that. So from here on out, choose you, and only you.
There was a girl who went viral on here. I'm not gonna tell you why, because if I do, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. She's been going viral lately because she's been doing this specific joke. I've been liking those videos. I've been enjoying them. I'm like, oh my God, cute. They kind of have to do with AAVE, so I'm like, I'm there. Okay, I can have a little kiki about this. I noticed that she's live, and I'm like, oh, let me go into her live. She's all like giddy, happy. I say something, ignored. Every other comment though is getting read. Every other comment is also a comment from a man. She's ignoring my comments. I was like, okay, maybe she just didn't see. It was me and another girl that started commenting. And this is when she was like, the most mean, like she's in a bad mood. And she's like, and then a man says something after me and this other girl. And she's like, I know, right? Oh my God. It's so funny. We're so funny, right? Being a pick-me in 2026 is crazy. Great. Why do they do that? They'll kiki with my race if they're men, but if it's a woman, absolutely not. That was the meanest look I've ever seen someone make on live. She's not nice. Oh my God. Actually, I'm gonna block her before I upload this.
And you'll have a lot of these modern women that will ask about chivalry. They'll ask about a man being traditional, right? But the issue is, when the man was giving you flowers, you were rolling your eyes at him. You was giggling, you was laughing. You know, a man go and open a door for you, he get a lecture on how you're strong and independent, and you don't need no man, and thanks, but and whatever other stupid stuff that you want to come with. Oh, well, thanks, but you know, I really don't need that, so I don't want you holding on my hand. I wasn't going to do that. I was just being a gentleman like I was taught. When men continue to come up against that attitude over and over again, why in the world would they keep on going in that direction? Why would they keep on doing that? Why would they keep on giving you the benefit of him being a gentleman, and you're just going to act?
All right, here are my thoughts on online dating. Like, I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got to the point where it's socially acceptable for people to message someone and then not respond ever again, to lead someone on that they possibly would like to go on a date, but then never respond ever again. Ghosting, not responding, intermittent communication. Like, when did we get to the point where this is acceptable for men or women to behave this way? What would happen if we really just started to honor ourselves and each other and we opted out of that system? So what does that look like? The next time you're a maybe to someone, let them know I'm a maybe. That's why I haven't gotten back to you. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant to respond. I'm a maybe for these reasons. Or I think we should just stop here. Thanks for matching with me, but I'm noticing I'm not really interested and I'm not communicating in a way that I feel good about. Let's opt out of the nonsense that we offer each other of not honoring one another. Like, it's gotta stop somewhere, and the only place to stop with is you and me. Honor each other, folks.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Once upon a time in New York, you could walk past a group of guys. A couple of them will lock in on you. One of them will decide, oh no, I'm going for it. Start walking with you 10 blocks, talking to you, trying to get to know you, trying to get your phone number or your social media accounts. He would commit to the bit, like, no, I'm walking with you. Wherever you going, I'm going with you, because I want that number. I want that information. I'm trying to get with you, for real. Like, they would commit. They would yearn. You'll be walking down the street, a man see you in his car, he start following you in the car. And it wasn't even creepy. It was like low-key romantic, because he really wanted to run down to you so bad. He was willing to take a detour from the way he was going to now go where you're going, because he want to talk to you, because you look that good. I don't know what happened. I don't know why the men in New York stopped doing these things. A man in New York used to talk to you while you was pregnant. He didn't even care if your baby had a dad. He didn't care. You look good. Don't care. I'll take care of that baby. Like, they used to be on that. I'm not sure what happened, but I miss the real New Yorkers. The real used to really run down. It's not the same. It's so sad right now. Dating pool is full of piss and pride.
You know, one thing that these modern women do is they try to skip the line. Is essentially what they're trying to do. They won't say that they're not equal to somebody else, but that's the way they feel. They feel like, if I go and get my degree, I'm better than everybody else. I'm the cream of the crop. I'm the prize. You might be the cream of the crop and the prize, academically speaking, because you might be pretty smart, academically speaking, but you're not, and you will never be the most talented person. You're not ever going to know everything. So it would behoove you, and it would pay to be humble. But most modern women aren't like that. They go and get the degree. They go and get the job. And then they say, since I have these things, my standards can be sky high. My standards can be through the roof. And there's going to be a man out there that better meet him, or else they're not going to have the pleasure of getting with me. Turns out, it seems like those men that you don't want, don't actually want the pleasure. They actually see it as
Independent women, they're not against men. They're just building their life instead of spending their 20s in the streets, hoping that they randomly bump into a husband. A lot of people misunderstand what independence actually means for a woman, because the internet's turned this idea that if a woman is focused on her career, her education, or her personal growth, that must mean she doesn't value relationships. But it's actually much more simple than that. Life doesn't pause just because someone hasn't met the right partner yet. A smart woman understands that the years she has before marriage are still valuable, and there's still years that can be invested in building something meaningful, or wasted chasing attention that leads nowhere. Instead of sitting around waiting for a man to give her stability, she focuses on creating stability herself first, which is actually one of the most responsible things that a person can do. Take notes, man. When a woman learns how to manage her own life, earn her own money, pay her own bills, and develop her own discipline, she's not rejecting it. She's learning the same life skills that make any partnership work. Because when two people finally meet and decide to build a life together, the healthiest relationships usually come from two individuals who already know how to carry their own weight. Independence is not competition with men. It's preparation for a partnership. A woman who knows how to build something in her own life doesn't enter a relationship looking for someone to rescue from chaos, to rescue her from a bad life. She enters it ready to contribute to something stable. And that changes the dynamic completely. Because now the relationship isn't built on lack or desperation or dependency. It's built on two people choosing each other while already knowing how to stand on their own.
You know what's dating and relationships today? It's not bad luck. It's not. It's people showing up as a sales pitch, not as their true, real, authentic self, right? They don't show you who they are. They show you what they think you want to see. They sell you a version of them that's like tailor-made to win you, not to love you. And the sickest part is most people are carrying wounds from their past they haven't even dealt with. And instead of healing, they show up with hidden agendas, right? They're not there for your best interest. They're there for what they can get. Attention, validation, security, man, a warm body so they don't have to face their own emptiness. And because they're too scared to be alone, too scared to be rejected, they mold themselves into whatever it takes to hook you, even if it means lying to themselves. But the truth, you can't outrun your real self. You can't build something real while pretending. And if you have to fake it to get them, I'm going to tell you this, you have to fake it to keep them. And eventually, man, you're both going to choke on a lie. Be real or stay out of the arena.
I think modern women don't really understand that. They're so disrespectful in a lot of these situations. It's extremely disrespectful. Why won't a man come up to me? Why won't a man approach me? It's because there's a great chance that the man is going to get disrespected for whatever reason. Now, I think most men will say, if that's something that I did, that's on me. I got it. I understand it, right? Because that's something I did. I need to fix that. But if I'm coming up to you acting like I have some sense, if I'm approaching you with respect and dignity, why are you still trying to clown? Why are you still trying to act a fool? If I'm doing what you asked me to, well, approach me like this, say this, you just kind of, you don't have to change who you are, but, kind of understand the situation and read the room. I feel like it shouldn't take you reading the room for you to understand that people don't like to be disrespected and made fun of. But this is what modern women will do. A man will read the room, approach you how he's supposed to approach you, and then instead of saying and being graceful, which is, what you're supposed to be doing as a lady, instead of being graceful and gracious about the interaction, even if you really don't like him or take to him or fancy him, instead of being gracious to him, you're disrespectful and you're laughing in his face and you're posting him online. What type of loser does that?
Having dated black men, what suggestions would you offer to white men?
Black men in general seem to appreciate women like me more than white men. I'm a lot of women. I say what I want to say, I do what I want to do, and that for some reason threatens a lot of men. And there's something about black men that like that. They think that's cute.
I think it's interesting though, because the very reason that she said that black men like her as a white woman is a reason that in the streets, we say that black men don't like black women for being loud or outspoken. So I think it's interesting. I don't know.
I think those guys that say that have insecurities.
You think so?
Of their own that they don't know how to deal with, and you know, they don't know how to be in a relationship, partnership, or take criticism. Because like, everybody's supposed to make each other better.
Yeah.
No matter who your partner is. Like whether it's a guy, like, you know, try to tell you like, yo, this is how you need to move, let's work the finances better, or if it's a woman saying, hey, that ain't your friends. You need to do this. And sometimes people don't receive that information well, and then it creates another false narrative. And like, you know, guys got to be better at taking criticism.
I follow my mother-in-law's advice. You can say this about groceries, laundry, his doctor's appointments, buying gifts for his parents, anything, right? Don't do it. Don't do it because you're setting an expectation that it is yours. And it's not yours to hold, right? We need to be very careful not to set expectations that it is our job as women to do everything for everyone.
I will ask you, honey, because you're very worried about him expecting things. Does he pay the bills? I'm curious. Do you expect him to? Do you expect him to? Does he, when there's something wrong with the car, like, does he take it in to be serviced? When something breaks in the house, does he tend to it? When somebody's at the door that looks a little bit strange, does he go and tend to that? Do you expect him to do those things? Well, if the answer is yes, and I presume that the answer will be yes for some of those things, that's fine, right? It's fine for you to have expectations of him, right? You expect him to do certain things. Why is it not okay for him, God forbid, he would expect you to do certain things?
So I honestly think up until this point, modern women have been real clear about the stuff that they do and they don't want. Right? Well, I don't want this part of tradition, but I do want this part of tradition over here. And consequently, it seems to always be the part of tradition that benefits you the most. Interesting. And they're dishonest about, well, you know, that's misogynistic. So what they do, knowing that they have to sacrifice, knowing that they would have to work and reciprocate, they just say, well, everything the man wants is misogynistic. So we can't, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that anyway because the patriarchy hurts you. Now, I get it. I understand it. You talk about the patriarchy, talking about the system. There are some parts of the system that as a man, it hurts you too. Got it. Understand it. I agree. But why is it that nothing in the system that you want hurts you? When it comes to the stuff that you want, and it's a part of the patriarchy, it's a part of the old system, that's healthy. We need to keep on doing that. Those are the things that we need to keep. But when it comes to what a man wants, you see, it's just ingrained in you. You're a bad person. You can't do anything about it. We have to train you. We as a society, we as women have to train that up out of you. It's the patriarchy, man. You gotta get it up.
Standards, is it? Well, what about things called manners and class? Because no woman that has either of those things would ever respond in such a way to receiving a gift from someone, let alone their significant other. But I would be fascinated to hear the excuses that someone would make on someone else's behalf for their bad behavior.
Someone told me once that I have a fear of rejection. And first of all, like, what is a fear of rejection? Like, if a fear of rejection is that you will ask someone out and they will say no and they won't reciprocate, I definitely don't suffer from that. I am king of shooting my shot. Like, I constantly ask people out because, like, I don't take it personally if they aren't interested. Like, it's like you don't even know me at that point, you know? Like, what's the harm in getting a drink with someone? What I do have a fear of is that someone won't reject me and that they'll go on that date with me and then they'll go on several more and then I'll get to know them and I'll start to, you know, let my fears subside that it could end and I'll start to like fall for them and then they'll reject me. And that, my friends, has happened more times than I can count. And now that's something to be afraid of. Initial rejection, it's a gift. When someone rejects me immediately, I am so relieved because that rejection that comes later much more difficult pill to swallow.
I think modern women like to say, why doesn't a man approach anymore? Well, there's a lot of risk involved in approaching now. Plain and simple. There's a lot of, and this is probably the main thing, there's a lot of disrespect involved. If a man try to come up to you and say hello, then all of a sudden, I just don't really know about him. I just don't, he seems like he's kind of weird. It seems like something's going on with him. He said hello in a high pitched, like where the inflection of his voice kind of turned up. And what kind of man does that? I have no idea. Why don't you just talk to him and have a regular conversation? Maybe you can find out. But modern women don't think like that. They're psychoanalyzing. They're trying to pick out things and find holes and chinks in his armor, as if the man didn't done anything wrong by saying hello. And I understand, but I'm just trying to protect myself. With men dangerous and all that other stuff, go ahead and say what you want to say. But I think you can go overboard with your analysis of the man. You talk, well, he just said hello wrong and I knew from the jump. Okay, well, maybe, but is there a way that you can just have a normal 5-minute conversation and see if that was anything? Is there a possibility?
My boyfriend's at the shops and he called me to ask if I wanted anything, and I said no. If he walks through that door without a treat for me, he's going to have the worst night of his life.
So if that man respects your boundaries, he's going to have the worst night of your life. Okay, so does this go for everything? No, I'm not in the mood for that. He should just override you? So you're gonna punish him for being honest, for listening to you, for hearing you. If men made this video, he would be in so much trouble. Like, you'd be calling the police. Oh, she's gonna have the worst night of her life if she doesn't make the dinner that I want her to. Yeah, because that's totally acceptable. Healthy relationships are built on clarity. And if you play all these little games and I'll have all these little tests for him and you expect him to magically read your mind, your relationship's gonna fall apart or be incredibly unhealthy and toxic long term. A good man is going to hear you say, no thank you, I don't want anything. And most likely he will not get you anything. Now, if you want something and you want it to be a surprise, just say that. Let me guess though, when roles are reversed though, it's okay if you don't get him anything, right?
If he won't commit but still deals with you every day, congratulations. You're in a relationship, he's not. He likes you, he just doesn't respect the position that you're asking for. Because think about it, you're answering every call. You're texting him back like it's your job. And you're moving like his girlfriend. To a man who still introduces you like, yeah, that's just my friend, you're confused, he's not. He's living his best life. He gets your time, your attention, your energy with zero responsibility. That's not a situationship. That's a subscription he forgot to pay for. And the crazy part, you're scared to pull back because you don't want to lose him. Lose what? A man that already has you without choosing you? You don't have to convince him to commit. You have to make him feel like, wait, I might actually lose all access to her. Stop being so available. Stop rewarding bare minimum behavior. Stop acting like his when he's not acting like yours. Because the second you switch from I'll always be there to you actually have to step up to keep me, watch how fast he either steps up or falls off. Either way, you win. He's not committing because you made it optional. Peace and love. Like and follow.
And a lot of times you'll see dudes perform old school stuff, traditional stuff, chivalrous acts, being generous, being a gentleman, the whole 9 yards, right? But I think a lot of times they don't get the respect back. There's nothing that comes back. Not a thank you, not a tap on the shoulder, not a smile, not a chuckle. A lot of these modern women don't even glance in your direction. They're not even looking in your direction, man. They just walking through the door, just waltz through the door, just walk in front of you, man. Hey, modern women don't treat men as human beings. They treat a dog as more of a human being than a man. They treat a cat. They treat a rat. Bars. As more of a human being than a man. They treat that man like dirt. You're less than dirt. You're not even an object. I don't even see you. And this is what meant, man, you know those automatic doors that just you walk up to it and it just opens, or a button you just push. You know, if you're handicapped, I know a lot of people they're not handicapped and they use it anyway. You push the button, the handicap, the door opens, right? For assistance. That's what modern women think that men are. They think that men are technology, just an automatic thing that's supposed to be there. They really feel like a man is supposed to act like that. I don't have to acknowledge you. You're just there. You're just an object.
Okay, so everyone in the comments is mad at this man, but I've watched this like 5 times and I still don't see what he did wrong. So let's watch it back in slow-mo while I read some of the comments. He pushed her, may this love never find me. What? He was literally grabbing her by the shoulders to try to stabilize her. He never pushed her. Run away, girl. What makes you think that she can run away from a man? She can't even outrun the tiniest current of water. Genuinely, what was he supposed to do? Make the water freeze? I genuinely don't even know what everyone is freaking out about. Are they not both to blame? Like, did they not both go right up to the tip of the beach holding power banks and purses fully clothed? What is this, their first experience with planet Earth? Is this their first time seeing an ocean? And even if it is your first experience with an ocean, I'm sorry, common sense? Hello? Like, I'm not gonna drag the man here. I'm dragging everyone, which is easy to do apparently. The tiniest little wave in the world could do it. This is dumb and dumber, and dumbest being the entire comment section. This couple, 0. Another point to Darwinism.
You guys want to see an example of a wife getting offended that her husband has to talk to other women at his work? Here it is.
Okay, yep. Well, it was good chatting with you. Appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, if you need anything, just holler at me. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Yes, ma'am. You too. Okay, sounds good. All right, bye.
The problem that I see with this is that man followed everything to a T by the book. Like, he did nothing wrong. He was warm, kind, and professional, and he wanted to get off the phone. Also, men that are very interested in another woman, like, he doesn't want to get off the phone. And some women got after him for using the term ma'am, which I see as like super formal. That's not a term that you would use on a woman that you're really interested in. Maybe some of you will disagree on that, but from my viewpoint, the man did nothing wrong to signal any sort of red flags. All this is coming from is internal stuff from within the wife. And as long as she can recognize that and she doesn't end up giving her man the silent treatment or treating him terribly, then hopefully she can just learn from it, work on it, and grow from it. Otherwise, that husband is probably never going to know peace.
Calling you to say goodnight, bare minimum. Calling you pretty, bare minimum. Taking you on dates, bare minimum. Getting you flowers, bare minimum.
Not being ran through, bare minimum. Not having any children, bare minimum. Dating someone for who they are and not what they have, bare minimum. Not having your out everywhere on social media, bare minimum.
Ladies, y'all need to understand this. When you put pressure on a weak man, he will run to an even weaker woman with no standards for herself and nothing going for herself at all, because he wants easier. He doesn't want better. He wants someone that will let him walk all over her and not really expect much from him, so he can give her the bare minimum. Losing guys like this is a blessing in disguise, because from there on out, you are the one that got away and stayed away. That burden is no longer on your plate. You don't have to worry about him. And this just goes to say, good women scare men away, because when you got a woman that got everything going for herself, and she got goals, she got morals and integrity, and she's not going to accept the bare minimum, and she holds people to a high standard and expectations, Men don't like this because they want somebody that does not really require much so they can give them less. Leave these type of men where you found them and let them be released back into hell where they should be. But y'all stay safe out of it.
Don't tell me.
The truth is one of the only things in life that is highly requested but not highly accepted. Viewer discretion is advised.
But you're like, there's nothing more that ruins my day than an ugly man coming up and hitting on me. You have a wig on. You have a full face of makeup on. By the time you go home, you take all that off and you go to bed, y'all might just be meeting in the middle. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say.
I just figured if y'all heard it from someone else, it'll probably resonate better. Yeah. I just figured if y'all heard it from someone else, you'll have an easier time digesting the information. I just figured if y'all heard it from someone else, you would stop saying that I'm just hating. Because whether y'all believe it or not, the mass majority of people on social media, especially the ones that think they are superior from an attraction standpoint, are average. Once they take away all the factors that cloud your perception, you are an average individual. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with average. I'm not sure when we demonize average, but it is perfectly fine to be average. Most people are exactly in that position, and they would never get any better than that. But if everybody had to show up in their natural state when it came to attracting a partner, I can assure you, more than half of y'all would not be saying half the that y'all see online. And I know there's a portion of y'all that will still ride that delusion until the wheels fall off. However, I'm gonna tell y'all like I would tell anybody else. There's never been a woman in history that could have exactly what she wanted and she didn't have it. So if you believe you are this person and you still don't have what you want, it's because you are not who you think you are, despite your level of attraction. But you know what? Knowing some of y'all ain't gonna listen to that I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep it changing.
All of us have the same value. There's different things that we can do for a very good reason. We need both the masculine and the feminine. Men are working full time, women are working full time, so everything has to be equal and divided equally, but we still have different roles. There's this big thing about equality. Men and women are equal, men and women are the same. And in relationships, it's way more about equity than it is equality.
We've stepped out of the way nature and creator have intended us to relate. If we can return to just the natural laws of life, where there is this polarity in which you speak, we're going to not just heal this genderless society narrative and all the darkness we saw in the Olympics and everything else, but we're going to thrive. It's all exhausting us to the point where we're finally going to be so exhausted that we put our weapons down and we say, how can we just love each other?
Right.
How can we just be there for each other again?
If you want to be in a romantic relationship where your husband is attracted to you, you have to go into your feminine side. They crave our femininity. They crave it from us. And we offer that. We offer that peace, our homes to be a place of peace for men when they come home. And I hear women say all the time, well, my husband doesn't even want to come home sometimes, so he'll go to the bar. Well, are you creating a peaceful environment? He's been at war all day. He doesn't want to come home and have to fight another war. He wants to come home and be able to relax and be at peace. Are you offering that to him?
What wealth do you think is being stolen from male-female relationships, husband-wife relationships?
And also one day, modern women are going to have to figure out that if you're going to brag about making six figures, you're going to have to produce. You're going to have to produce. I'm a boss, babe. I'm showing an independent woman. I don't need no man, But I expect a man to be a gentleman. And I expect you to be a nurturer. I expect you to give back to me what I give to you. If I'm pouring into you, I expect you to give that back to me. At some point in time, I would like you to take me on a date. Oh, well, that's not manly. I don't care what you say. I need you to reciprocate at some point in time. Get creative. Well, that's a woman's thing. No, because y'all do that same. See, what y'all would like to do is y'all would like to say, well, we got this day, Valentine's Day, it's going to be for women. No, it's supposed to be for couples, I thought. Because we both in love, right? Is it only me that is in love, or is it both of us? Well, then, you got National Girlfriend's Day or National Boo Thing Day or whatever, my birthday, and I got to get something for that. And you got to go all out all week, all month. And then Christmas come and I gotta go all out for that. And there's a couple of other holidays in there. Did I say birthday? Gotta go all, yeah, I gotta go all out for that too. There's a plethora of things. And then that's on top of just because. And just because really honestly and truly needs to happen at least 3 to 4 times a month. So you're already getting quality gifts, quality dates, just because. And then your birthday, I gotta go all out. Valentine's Day, I gotta go all out at some point. And then for all of that, what does a man get? Complaining. He didn't quite do it right, but we bringing him along. Bringing me along where? You need to catch up.